The trail doesn't care about your plans. It only cares if you're prepared.
I'm Rich, and for years I've been documenting the overland lifestyle through the overlandreport.com, but things are moving faster than ever in this industry. That's why I'm launching the weekly dispatch. Every week I'm sitting down right here in the field to bring you the things you actually need to know, the latest gear shifts, trail access updates, and the reality of life on the move. I'll also be featuring a creator spotlight segment each week. Let's get into the report for the start of 2026. Focusing on where I currently am, Western North Carolina, the Pisgah Ranger District is currently experiencing a freeze-thaw cycle. Anyone planning a winter trip in this area should be aware of this significant condition.
Temperatures are hovering around the freezing mark, which means our clay-heavy trails are extremely fragile. If you're leaving a rut, you're doing permanent damage. Stick to the gravel. Key closures to note for the 2026 winter season: Yellow Gap Road, FS 1206 is closed from Wolf Ford to North Mills River. Also, Ivester Gap, FS 816, and Lickstone, FS 97 are gated for the season. And a quick update on Helene recovery: bridge work is still ongoing on FS 475 Davidson River Road. It's open to Cove Creek, but closed beyond that to Daniel Ridge for bridge replacement.
Winter in the Blue Ridge is spectacular, but it requires a different level of respect for the land. Check the links in the dispatch notes for the full closure list before you head out. All right, let's talk essentials for winter recovery. You can have all the best intentions, but when conditions turn icy or muddy, preparedness is your only real insurance. Here are some of the basics you should have equipped.
First up, a kinetic recovery rope. Not a tow strap, a kinetic rope. The stretch and ease is crucial when you're pulling a cold-soaked, mud-caked vehicle, and always use a soft shackle. They're safer than steel and won't turn into a missile if something snaps. Next, traction boards. Forget the cheap stuff. You need a set that can handle freezing temperatures without becoming brittle. I've been running Max Tracks for years. They're bomb-proof even in the ice. Finally, and this one often gets overlooked, a good set of gloves and an insulated ground mat. When you're crawling around in the mud and snow, staying warm and dry is just as crucial as the gear itself. Hypothermia doesn't care how much recovery gear you have.
Don't skimp on these. Your safety and the safety of your rig depends on it. All the links to this gear are down in the description below. One of the best parts of the Overland community is the stories being told by people out there on the trail every single day. This week, our creator spotlight is on all things overlanding.
If you haven't seen their channel yet, you're missing out on some of the most authentic, no-nonsense trip reports, builds, and gear reviews. They aren't just showing the shiny gear, they're showing the reality of the breakdowns and the weather. And you'll see that Fletch loves his winter camping. Go give them a follow at All Things Overlanding on YouTube and Instagram. Also, check out their Newbie Overlanders group on Facebook. They're building an extremely friendly and helpful community over there. Tell them Rich at the Overland Report sent you. Let's support the creators who are keeping the spirit of exploration alive.
That wraps up our first episode of the Weekly Dispatch. We covered a lot of ground today, from trail closures in Pisgah to the essential winter gear you shouldn't leave home without. If you found this helpful, do me a huge favor, hit that like button and subscribe. I'm Rich, and this has been the Weekly Dispatch. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the trail.